Did you know that from 2017 to 2020, WagerTalk charged $795 for a season of either college football or NFL? Well, we know how important our season-long customers are, and we want to increase the amount of money you save by committing a season-long package. While most of our competitors continue to raise their prices, we are doing the exact opposite. We've lowered our price for both the NFL season and the college football season to only $5.99 each, but through Sunday, August 14th, we are offering an early bird special, saving you an additional $100, making your NFL or college football season only $4.99. That's under $23 per week. Make sure to take advantage of the early bird prices before midnight, Sunday, August 14th, as they will return to the still low price of $5.99 per sport per season. You know the NFL preseason is already underway, and the college football season kicks off Saturday, August 27th. There is no coupon needed and no limit to the number of packages you can buy. Just head to your favorite handicappers page and take advantage today.
Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today, the best daily sports gambling show on the planet. He's Teddy Covers. I'm Lawrence Presman, and we've got Dave Cokin joining us today. He's going to look at the White Sox-Rangers game, and we're going to delve into some college football, Teddy. Clemson at Georgia Tech, week 1. Tony Mejia, he's coming on after Dave. He's going to look at the Atlanta-New York Mets game, the Boston-Kansas City Royals game, and Kevin Dolan, the Irishman, on at the end, and it's boxing. Teddy, you bet any boxing?
Have I ever bet boxing? Yes. Do I bet boxing regularly? No.
I bet $1,000 on Michael Spinks to beat Mike Tyson.
How'd that work out for you?
I got 92 seconds of adrenaline. That was a long, long time ago, brother. Guys listening to the show, the daily presidential address, we normally need 100 likes. We only need 80 until football season starts. Yesterday, I gave out Cincinnati plus 1.5. It lost, but I gave out Oakland. I did, and it won 3-1. So if you want to hear some free picks in the daily presidential address, let's get to 80 likes. Teddy Covers, what did you learn last night in the wonderful world of sports betting?
Well, I'm a little stunned when you're like 80 likes before the start of football season, because in my world, Prez, we've been waiting 172 days for football season to start, and football season starts tonight. It's the 25th anniversary of me arriving in Las Vegas for the very first time with a loaded up Jeep Cherokee, pulling into town, and my car died on the strip as I pulled in, which was a lot of fun at 11 o'clock at night on a 100-something degree night. My first night in town. Nonetheless, 25 years today, Prez. Are you ready for some football? Hell yeah, I'm ready for football. It starts tonight, not September. Don't ignore preseason NFL. Guys make money, and it's worth noting. The lines are moving for next week already. The Bears taking money against the Chiefs. And only in preseason you're going to see the Bears favored and taking money against the Chiefs. The Dolphins taking money against the Bucs. The Ravens taking money against the Titans. The markets are moving already. There will be more. NFL preseason betting markets move fast. But I'm excited, Prez. You're like, when football season starts. Football season has started for this bettor, my friend. Or at least it will tonight.
Okay, fine, Teddy. So you want 100 likes for the daily presidential address, or are we going to stick with 80 for the next couple of weeks? Your decision.
Oh, I say always shoot for the stars, my friend. It's football season.
Okay, 100 likes. You guys want a daily presidential address? 100 likes. Please do it now. And also, make sure to download our app. Man, this app is getting a ton of good pub right now, and I'm so excited about it. WagerTalk TV, you can download it at any of the app places, Google, Schmoogle, Apple, Schmapple, all of them. They're all there. And you can watch all our shows live streamed on your phone. Make sure to download that app, WagerTalk TV. Rate it. Give it some love. Teddy, you still like Jacksonville plus the 2.5?
I do. I like Jacksonville plus 2.5. I advise my clients to like Jacksonville plus the 2.5 as well. What about you?
I like Jacksonville. Listen, the strategy for me is really simple in preseason. I'm taking the bad teams against the good teams. So, and Baltimore. That's just automatic. The bad teams versus the good teams and Baltimore. First week looking at the unders across the board. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those spots like with Chicago and Kansas City. I love Chicago in that spot. So yeah, I'm with you, dude. Jacksonville, it is. Welcome everybody. Dylan Wargo. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome to the show. Travis Slapnicker. Did you make that one up? Because that is stunning. Don Play, Jacob, David Gray. You guys coming down to the meet and greet? Dave Cokin. We're going to see you at the meet and greet.
I'm going to try and get there if the sinuses aren't a monster issue. Been some difficulty with those lately. But should be a fun event.
Yeah. Well, we hope to see you. Yesterday, someone asked about my autograph signing that I'm going to be doing at 5 a.m. In one of the elevators at the Westgate. I'll just go up and down. When you get in, you get an autograph. I've canceled it. I need to sleep.
No.
Yeah, Dave, I can't. 5 a.m. It's just insane. How you doing, man? Have you been you deep into college football studying?
Yeah, and in fact, I already have a best bet up that I like a lot on an over and under wins prop. Probably should have made it a 5%, but it's a 4. That's available right now, and we kept the price at $9. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
so there you go, guys. Dave loves this college football bet. It's a win-loss total. It should be a 5-star, but he chickened out and made it a 4. Dave, let's get into some baseball. White Sox.
Hold on. You didn't let me tease what I'm going to do on the show here.
Oh, tease away, Dave.
I just posted a 4% best bet for week 1 of the college football season. And I'm making it a free play on the website. And I'm going to talk about it here on the show today. And this is a 4% best bet selection that you're going to get for nothing on a big game.
Okay, well then let's go into that game first. No point in jumping into MLB now. Clemson, Georgia Tech. Is this a down year for Clemson, and how do you like this game?
No, it's an up year for Clemson. Last year was a down year for Clemson because the offense was it was bad. It couldn't move the ball. The defense was good, but I mean, they would wear out in games at times. I think it's going to be a lot different for Clemson this year. They got to play faster. The offensive line returns a lot of experience. I'm still not wild about the quarterback situation, but I think the running game is going to be very good. And the Clemson defense, up front, a defensive line, linebacker, it's as good as it gets, okay? They fell out of the playoff picture last year, but Clemson's going to be knocking on the door to get back in the playoffs this year. This is going to be a really good football team. This matchup is really bad for Georgia Tech. They've got a brand new offensive line, basically, going against this monster front seven. I don't know where their points are going to come from. I don't think they're going to be able to run the football, and they're not a team that does well throwing the football. So, to me, if Georgia Tech gets 2 touchdowns in this game, they've done well. I don't think they're going to get more than 1. So, for Clemson to cover, they've only got to get about 30. I don't think that's going to be a problem, as the Georgia Tech defense has a lot of issues, especially in the secondary. So, I think Clemson's going to roll in this game. You don't have to worry about them looking ahead. It's week 1. Nobody looks ahead in week 1, especially when it's a conference game. I think Clemson kills Georgia Tech in this game. I make it maybe a 40-7 type game. And I think Clemson minus 20.5 or 21 is cheap. I expect the line to go up by game time. This is the last game of the week 1 schedule. So there's plenty of room for it. I think this game could get to 23. Clemson money's going to come firing in. Grab it now. 4% play on Clemson minus the points.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point about the likely direction that this line is going to move, Dave. You can see it already in the markets, and we're still, weeks out. Clemson likely to take the money. So if you like the Tigers, bet them sooner, not later. So it was 73-7 2 years ago, and then last year, 14-8 in the matchups between these two teams. So certainly Georgia Tech's offense hasn't really worked against the Clemson defense, even though last year the defense was able to get some stops against the Clemson offense that, spent the whole game shooting themselves in the foot, spent the whole season shooting themselves in the foot. But the fact that the Yellow Jackets have an entire summer to work on an offensive game plan for this one opponent, you're saying they can't throw the football, they get 2 touchdowns, they'll be lucky, that's as good as they're going to do. The fact that they have all summer to work out a defensive game plan, does that help them in any regard? Does that concern you at all? Is this a play that might be stronger for you in week 2 than it was in week 1? Or is this just Clemson's just going to stack this team and Georgia Tech has no answers?
I think in week 2, the line probably opens like 25. Because I think Clemson's power rating isn't as high in some people's mind because they had an off year last year. And the game against Georgia Tech was typical of that. They just couldn't move the ball. This Clemson offense, it might not be great, but it's going to be good. Yeah. As opposed to last year when the Clemson offense was a liability more than an asset last year. And they barely won some games they could have easily lost. It was a really down year for them. I think Clemson's resurgent this year. And I think Georgia Tech's worse than they were last year. The Yellow Jackets, they're going to get their ass kicked on a regular basis this year. And I think it starts right here.
Yeah, and Dave, from my perspective, with Georgia Tech rolling out a new offensive line, their style of play with that option offense, it could only get better as the year goes on. So for me, if I'm going to take a 3-touchdown favorite against Georgia Tech, I'd like to do it as soon as possible, not later on, because they have to come in somewhat out of sync.
Well, look, we know that teams with all new offensive lines, and that's basically the case here, have a tendency to struggle early. Georgia Tech did not do well. The transfer portal, really, more than it's ever been, and I think this is going to be a growing trend for us in college football, you have to really handicap the transfer portal, what took place in the offseason. Clemson got better thanks to their transfers. Georgia Tech did not do well in the transfer portal. They went backwards. So I think the Yellow Jackets are going to have a very bad year, and I think it's going to start here. And I reminded everybody, even though I did not have, by any stretch of the imagination, a banner 2021 season of college football, I wasn't good. I'm still number 1 all-time in net profits in college football here at WagerTalk. So I'm absolutely expecting big things this season. So get the package now, and here's a good play to start you off with. 4% best bet.
Nice.
On Clemson.
Yeah, and Dave, I tell people, I make no bones about it. If I get an email or somebody asks me, who do I play in NFL, who do I play in college football, basketball, etc. When someone asks me about college football, it's Dave Cokin. End of story. And, we're talking like, I could be wrong here, Dave, 90-something years of winning in college football?
Well,
it feels that way.
Lawrence.
Right now.
Yes.
I talked about this being my 25th football season in Las Vegas. When I think it was my 3rd football season. Was it my 2nd or my 3rd where you started doing Stardust Line on Sunday nights and had those ridiculous runs? It was 99 or 2000 when Dave started doing that. And so when I moved here 25 years ago, Dave was a legend and kicking ass in college football. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, dude, Thomas Edison was playing Dave Cokin's college football plays. Come on. Dylan Wargo writes, Prez, I'm a regular watcher, but not a commenter. That changes now. Well, yeah, Dylan. Join us, my brother. Come down to the meet and greet. Teddy will be signing autographs 4 a.m. in one of the elevators at the Westgate.
You used that joke already.
No, I used it about me. And who says it's a joke? Cueto versus Ragans. White Sox against Texas. Minus 135 for the away team. How do we bet this game?
Cueto's in good form. Some of it's been a little bit good fortune, but he's magic, man. He's almost as old as I am. It seems that way. And he's still getting guys out. Rangers, if it's a close game, they're going to lose. This team's record in one-run games is unbelievably bad. White Sox come in with a little bit of momentum. I think the favorite's the right side here. Reagan's his best pitch is his changeup, and it's supposed to be a real good changeup. I haven't seen him pitch. He looks like a guy who might be a back-of-the-rotation guy, though. I don't think he's regarded as a top-flight pitching prospect. Lefties facing the White Sox, generally not a good thing over the last few years, and I don't expect it to change right now. The White Sox are in better form than the Rangers, who are staggering a little bit right now. So I think this is a game where you can play the favorite and feel fairly comfortable about it. I didn't play any baseball today. I haven't been very good at baseball the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to really look for a good spot to really rev something up. I didn't see anything that big today. I will say this, if you're just backing the minus 200 level favorites, you're doing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
So that strategy is one you probably should stay with.
I mean, that's August MLB. It's the time for the dogs to die and the big chalk to come in. But I wanted to ask you, Dave, when it comes to, and especially with these huge price tags that we're talking about, $2 favorites and all of that. But when it comes to Chicago and Texas, where you're not seeing these type of prices, you have a Rangers team that's coming off a bad series against who they just get swept by. They got swept by the Orioles. Got smacked around. And the quotes coming from Chris Woodward was, it's time to play. We're going to come, we're not going to let this affect us now. And this kid Reagans that you were talking about, he was a former number one pick. He had Tommy John surgery. Then he had Tommy John surgery again. He started the year at AA. But there are high hopes for him still as a former number one pick. Do you worry at all about the pedigree of the young lefty that we don't know, and B, the fact that it seems like the Rangers are putting a little bit more emphasis on this ballgame than your average?
Well, maybe the manager's saying those things, but to me, that's just manager talk. I mean, the Rangers don't have any. Here's the Rangers' big games remaining. Anything against Houston. Those will be their playoff games. I don't even know if they've got games left for the Astros or not, but those will be their playoff games for Texas because it's the rivalry. But other than that, they're just evaluating talent the rest of the year. And I'm not saying they're going through the motions, but it's tough for these teams that are going nowhere unless they've got a big opponent. And they get a little excited about that. So I don't think you're going to see the Rangers on my cards moving forward this year, and that could be said for most of the bad teams out there.
Yeah.
I made a mistake yesterday. I played the Royals first five because Singer had been really hot. They were lifeless. After the rain delay, it was like, do we have to go out there and finish this game? And it's like, and that was a lesson. You learn lessons all the time here, and that was one yesterday. Even though the pitching matchup said take the Royals, it was a stupid play. Can't trust these teams to go out there and be focused. And so I'm going to be looking for spots to play chalk in favorable situations.
Dave, those are the two games we're supposed to discuss, but let me throw something at you here. Manoah is minus 120. This is a disrespectful line from my perspective. I understand he's playing against Gray and the Minnesota Twins, but man, he's got a 2.4 ERA, a .99 WHIP. He's 11-5 on the season. They're coming off of a loss. That's a pretty short price with Manoah on the mound. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, but you're not right either because current form, I mean, the Blue Jays aren't hitting. They're in an offensive slump right now. And Gray's not he's not exactly a stiff for Minnesota. He's had a pretty good year. So I thought the price was about right. I mean, I don't want to go against Manoah, and I'm waiting for the Blue Jays offense to get rolling again. But they're in a little bit of a lull right now. And the Twins, they did improve themselves at the deadline. Did they improve themselves enough to win the American League pennant? No. But they probably improved themselves enough to be rightfully in the favorites role in the AL Central right now. They should, on paper, win that division and get a home and field advantage for a round at least. You never know what can happen in a situation like that, although I don't see the Twins getting out of that first round against whoever they play.
Dave Cokin, everybody, if you're going to play college football this year, you've got to play Dave Cokin. Man, outstanding stuff. Thanks for joining us. Every Thursday on WagerTalk Today, Dave will be with us. Teddy covers, real quick. Guys, did you watch the documentary I talked about yesterday? If you did, put it in the chat room. I want to know your thoughts. Brother, we're going to take a quick break. We got your big game breakdown, Tony M. and Kevin Dolan coming up still. Stay with us, everyone.
Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet on It, and the Opening Line Report. Plus, browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. And look, I'm sick of doing MLB every day. I've been doing it all summer. I did the Hall of Fame game twice this week, one side, one total. Big game breakdown is something that you're supposed to be able to bet right away. And you can certainly bet this one because we're going to talk college football. Dave Cokin talked college football earlier on WagerTalk Today. And by the way, be sure to download the free WagerTalk TV app. It's available everywhere right now. You get all this content right on your screen on demand. The Cokin was talking college football. I'm going to talk some college football as well. Week 1, Missouri against Louisiana Tech. Right now, the Tigers, call it minus 20. If you shop around, you can find a minus 19. Total of 59 against the Bulldogs. Now, let me start with this. I like to lay chalk in the opener, especially with non-hype teams. The hype teams, you're going to see all kinds of price problems. But the non-hype teams that are facing lesser opponents, you can get some easy blowouts week 1 of the season. I think Missouri has that potential right here, right now. It's a complete rebuild for Louisiana Tech. Make no mistake about it. You know, Skip Holtz went 5-5 in the COVID year, then 3-9 last year. After 6 straight winning seasons, 5 of them at 8-5 or better, 4 of them at 9 wins or better. You know, La Tech was a top-notch program. They're not right now. It's going to take some time for Sonny Cumbie. And in particular, the weaknesses for Louisiana Tech are in the trenches, the offensive line, the defensive line. That's not what you want week 1 on the road against an SEC opponent. And Missouri is not a hype team. They're taking sharp money under 6 wins for the season. All right. I'm not going to call it a make-or-break year for Eli Drinkwitz, but kind of a make-or-break year for Eli Drinkwitz. Week 1 at home against a patsy, college betting 101. These are the games where the coach, when they can, will run up the score. Yeah, okay. You know, skill position questions everywhere on Missouri. I get it, but it's not like the Tigers haven't recruited. There's talent there. Offensive line and defensive line, no questions. Both units are poised to dominate start to finish. At some point in this game, Missouri's going to start ripping off big play touchdowns. I think they'll win by more than 3 of them. Give me the Missouri Tigers minus 20. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy, what do you think of the over in that game? 59 for Missouri to cover. They've got to put up a lot of points. And although La Tech is not a good team, this team doesn't struggle to score.
I don't trust La Tech to score. I don't trust La Tech to stop. It's a type of game that I could easily picture La Tech being held to single digits or 14. You know, they're not marching up and down the field. Missouri is the bet, not the total, in my opinion.
There you go. Well, hey, I wanted to follow up, you know. Tony Mejia joining us. Tony, we love having you on, brother. Kyle Anthony was supposed to do this show. I think he's in the middle of an orgy. So you took over. Thank you, Tony. Really,
he's going to have a better time.
Dude, it's like you sit on Slack and you're like waiting. You are the second someone puts up, can't do the show on Thursday. Tony Mejia, I'm in. Well, yes, you are.
I'm like a bird of prey.
Yeah, man, we love it.
You guys have my juices flowing with some college football. I'm on an 8-1 run coming into the season on 5% plays. Second overall in profits in college football since 2020. So already got my Phil Steele's and all my other mags, and looking forward to week 0. So we're good to go. Looking forward to seeing you boys in Vegas in a few weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be such a fun trip. Guys, make sure to come down to the meet and greet. We've got so much going on. And I mean, I think we're going to have over 100 people at this thing. Anyway, what? Atlanta play. What, Teddy?
100 guests or 100 Wager Talk and Sports Memo guys?
I don't know. 100 altogether.
I'm taking the
28.
I'm taking the over 100. There's going to be a lot more than 100 people there. Yeah. I'm confident of that. Way over. Yeah. What's the betting limit on that, Prez? 99. I'll even give you 100.5.
We're going to start forgetting the people?
Yeah.
We've got that Sunday morning seminar for college football that Kelly's putting together. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping.
Not too early Sunday morning.
I'll be sleeping.
Hopefully.
Sunday afternoon, Cal, not Sunday morning. Yeah.
Teddy's got to be sleeping. He's going to be signing autographs at 4 a.m. in an elevator. Tony, Atlanta playing the Mets. You like the total. Are we going under or over?
Yeah, we're going over. A huge series going on in Queens. Mets lead the Braves by 3.5 games, so the Braves can wipe that out with a sweep. You got two of the winningest pitchers in the NL going, and Kyle Wright and Carlos Carrasco. But I think the bats will dictate in Game 1. Wright has had most of his success at home. He's 9-2 there. He's decent on the road, 4-2, and his ERA is actually lower. But this could be a tricky game for him. The Mets obviously, added some reinforcements at the plate. Daniel Vogelbach and some other guys. Jeff McNeil sees Wright really well, 7 for 12 over his career against him. I actually will also give out his total bases at plus 150 at DraftKings and FanDuel. Coming off a 3 for 5 game yesterday, I think McNeil might be a pick to click. And then you've got Cookie Carrasco, who's got an 0.90 ERA coming off of that in July, but he feasted on the Cubs. He plays the Marlins twice, so this will be a challenge for him. I think the Braves might be without Michael Harris, the center fielder, who's the key to their outfield defense because he's dealing with like a toe injury. So we might see offense dictate Game 1.
So I'll be honest. I had the under on my short list, and the first 5 under was one I looked at pretty, and I got scared off it because I was afraid of the current form of these two offenses. But we're talking about from a starting pitching matchup. Carrasco hasn't allowed a run in his last 3 starts. He's been real good. And, Wright is an emerging ace. These are two guys we want to be betting on in general, not betting against. So my initial lean towards the under, I ended up passing on the game, first 5 and full game. But are you worried at all about the fact that Carrasco's in great form and Wright's been unhittable for extended stretches?
Yeah, we're always worried when we place bets, but look, Wright has been tremendous this season, but in the past he's been prone to really poor starts. Carrasco, again, he's a guy that's a rhythm guy, and this is what gives me pause and may even lead to me liking the Braves later if I see a lineup that I like. Matt Olson, 5 for 8 against him. Eddie Rosario, 12 for 34, and Robbie Grossman, newly acquired, 5 for 15. Against Carrasco in their careers. All those guys are fringe players for the Braves. So you've got a lack of success against those guys, and you still have to deal with the Acuñas and Austin Rileys of the world for the Braves. So I think the Mets, unless Carrasco gets off.
Hello?
Oh. We lost Tony. Oh, there he goes.
No, he's
back.
Sorry,
Tony, say that last bit again.
I said, unless Carrasco gets into a flow early, I think we'll see runs in this game. I think the Braves will get to him, and I think the Mets will get to Wright.
Tony, real quick, I know before we get to the next game, Teddy, Tony, one of our listeners, Don Play, would you take the Rays under 8? Please help. In 20 seconds, would you go with the under in this Rays Detroit game?
The Rays have a ton of moving parts. They added Peralta. They added Jose Siri. I think a third of their lineup is brand new. That being said, I would never go with an under against Drew Hutchison of the Tigers. So over or nothing.
Teddy?
And if I was going to play the game, it'd probably be under or nothing because I don't just. I mean, Detroit has shown us 600 times this year they just can't hit the baseball, and Toronto's lineup's been real spotty of late. They are not hitting the ball well coming out of the break. So Tony leans over, I lean under. Neither one of us pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, no help at all, Don Play. No help at all. Tony, you are on a massive run in your 4% baseball plays, 25 wins, 8 losses, and you have a 4% up tonight. You want to tell us quickly about it, and then we'll get to the Boston-Kansas City game?
Yeah, I'll just gloss over it. It's on the Jays game you mentioned earlier. Maybe I agree with you, maybe I don't.
Oh, well, I have admin access, Tony.
Oh, you go
Boston,
right ahead.
Kansas City.
Oh, hang on a second, Prez, because the irony is that I only have one MLB today. It's on that same game, and I have this. It was exactly the same thing. Maybe I agree with him. Maybe I don't.
Well, I'm going to go find out while Tony talks. Boston and Kansas City, what do you got?
Oh, well, this looks to me like a trap line. And it's Pivetta who was brilliant from mid-May through June. He was 8-1. And in July, he was 0-3 with a 9.38 ERA, no quality starts. So really the hotter pitcher here is Chris Bubich upon further inspection, because when I looked at this line, I expected it to be a little higher in Boston's favor. Obviously, Kansas City is constantly in rebuilding mode. They just got rid of Whit Merrifield. But I honestly think that the Royals are the play here, and I'm going to even break it down further and go first 5 because I like that pitching matchup so much. Chris Bubich, is really coming off a really nice July, his best month of the season. The player with the best history against him is J.D. Martinez, who's stuck in a 3-for-38 slump that's so bad due to back spasms, I think, that nobody wanted him. And they're ready to lynch Kyle Bloom, the GM in Boston, because he's riding with free agents. They got rid of Christian Vasquez, the catcher. That's another reason to fade Pivetta tonight. He'll be working with a new catcher in Reese McGuire. So first 5, give me Kansas City Royals at home at plus money.
So 2 nights ago, I had Kansas City in their 9-2 blowout loss at the White Sox. They look completely lifeless in that ballgame. Cokin was on earlier and talked about the finale of the series, and he had the Royals yesterday against the White Sox, and they look completely lifeless in that game, losing 4-1. Do you worry at all about these bottom feeder teams post All-Star break, even in a matchup that looks good? If they're not playing well and not playing with energy, is that a team that you're?
You absolutely worry about that, and you hope that these guys are professional, because a lot of these.
I think we lost Tony again there, Teddy.
Shot right now.
Right.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Tony, Tony, we keep losing you, but it's all good. The timing is perfect because we got to say goodbye. You've promoted your play. 25-8 run in his 4% baseball plays. He's got one up tonight. Tony Mejia, exclusive handicapper at WagerTalk.com. Guys, did you watch the documentary I told you about last night? Let me know. Okay, get the subtitles ready. I don't care about you. Bring on the translator. Ladies and gentlemen, the whitest man in sports handicapping, a man who couldn't tan. What up, Kev?
Yeah, what's happening? But I can certainly burn, Prez. That's for sure. I got a couple of good burns over this summer already, so trying to stay out the sun, you know.
You are Irish, dude.
I am. That is true.
The Irish people burn.
Yeah, we sure do.
Love having you on, dude. What's going on with you? Winning?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I was excited to come on here because obviously the last time we were on the show, we had that massive Bivol by decision over Canelo prop at plus 700, which we gave out.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice as well, because obviously reading the chat after the show, this guy's crazy. Canelo's never going to lose. So, you kind of gotta bathe in that glory for a huge bet like that. But yeah, I'm hoping obviously we can follow it up with 2 more winners today.
Well, listen, dude, it's gonna be tough to beat a plus 700. Teddy, John Clark writes, all the talks today about whips and orgies, best damn BDSM show on the planet. Yeah, tomorrow we'll make it better, guys. Tomorrow we'll do a whole segment on Teddy's kinky sex life. What do you say, Teddy?
Yeah, I'll take the under. Yeah.
Kev, we got some big fights going on this week. Ortiz versus McKinson. You can find that on DAZN. I am a member. I have DAZN on my computer. How should I bet this game?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's the zone, but yeah, close enough. Big fight over
blah,
Texas.
Blah, blah. Like I'm going to get translation advice, pronunciation advice from a man who speaks English that nobody can understand.
Everybody can. You know, I used to live in America for 3 years. I never had one person not understand what. Mind you, it was Boston, so I suppose if an Irish person's going to move one place in America. But yeah, look, huge fight this weekend on the zone. It's one of the most exciting fighters in all of boxing right now, Virgil Ortiz, up against undefeated British fighter Michael McKinson, obviously. And, you know, exciting doesn't really do Ortiz full justice either, because, you know, the guy, he's not only exciting, he can really fight, you know, has great punch selection and all that. So, you know, this is going to be a good fight. Now, Ortiz is fighting a fighter in McKinson who only got his first step out stateside back in March. Nearly all of his fights have took place in the UK. He had one fight in Gibraltar as well. But this fight was originally due to take place back in March. Ortiz was forced to pull out due to sickness. He had some weight issues as well. So, you know, McKinson fought a late replacement, Alex Martin, in that one. And I don't think the crowd were overly impressed with his performance. There was a lot of boos. Martin was fairly negative in that one too. And that's likely going to be the tail in this fight as well. That's the kind of angle we're going for a bet in this fight, because you know, McKinson can fight. He's a very good fighter. He's tricky, high-level technical boxer. He can get low on opponents. He's got, you know, excellent accuracy with the shots as well. But he's fairly negative as a fighter. Always places, you know, kind of full focus on defense. He kind of, you know, pivots out of the pocket, out of range, tries to get away from danger. Almost, you know, kind of looks to play a spoiling role in fights to a degree. He massively frustrated an undefeated fighter in Chris Congo last year as well. Handed him his first loss. So McKinson kind of thrives on that defensive construct of his. He's a very hard fighter to open up. And he uses kind of slap and pot shots when he's in range as well. You know, doesn't overly commit to shots, doesn't stay in the pocket. So this could well turn into a frustrating night's work for Ortiz on Saturday. Ortiz is undefeated. He stopped every opponent he's ever faced. Perfect 18 wins with 18 knockouts. And there are some good names on his resume as well. You know, former world champion Maurice Hooker. The man who arguably gave Terence Crawford his toughest fight to date as well, Mean Machine Kavalauskas. So most people are simply going to assume, look, if you're stopping those kind of guys, a guy like McKinson probably isn't going to give you a whole ton of trouble. I would imagine most people haven't even heard of him. But that's not the case. We have to go by styles here. McKinson, you know, he's just so negative in there. Not a bad thing. He's obviously a very good boxer, but just his style is based on surviving, trickiness, frustrating the opponent, and I think that will get to Ortiz in this fight. So with Ortiz's general inactivity, he's been out almost a year now since he last fought. The change of trainers as well for Ortiz, the struggle to make weight, McKinson's awkward style, as we said. I think all these factors kind of combine this weekend to see this one go some rounds. So I like the over 7.5 rounds prop on this one at minus 138. That's a play that's already made my card. As I do expect McKinson to frustrate Ortiz in there. I'll put a little VR sprinkle, as they say, on the Ortiz by decision prop at plus 300 also, as I honestly wouldn't be that surprised if he was the first man to take Ortiz the distance.
There you go. Kevin Dolan, everyone. We got one more fight to talk about. I just want to make mention, one of our listeners wants to know why Jimmy Adams' 5% play is not half price. Guys, the half price offer that we were talking about ended at the end of July. It went for the entire month of July, but it is over now. As well, we do have over 100 likes, so thank you for that. Teddy, I hand the mic to you, brother.
Sure, let's talk about a fight in Belfast on ESPN+. That would be Michael Conlan versus Miguel Mariaga. What do we do with this one, Kevin Dolan?
Yeah, Belfast, probably the greatest fighting city on the planet. But Michael Conlan looks to rebound off a frankly devastating loss against Lee Wood back in March. That was Conlan's first tilt at a world title. He is heavily promoted by Top Rank and ESPN Plus. But what an absolutely electric fight. Definite fight of the year candidate. Conlan put Wood down early in the first round. Wood's actually very lucky it happened when it did, because he got that minute to recover. But, it was a back and forth war from that point on. Conlan looked to be getting the better of it, but he did start to tire down the stretch. Wood then came on strong in the championship rounds and knocked him out in the 12th. But, Conlan fell through the ropes. The ambulance was called. It did look, fairly devastating. So this is his first fight back since that defeat. So it's kind of from an interest viewpoint. How does Conlan kind of approach this fight? How does he look after that first defeat of his career? The positives for Conlan are obviously, look, he showed how good of a boxer he was in that fight against Lee Wood. Lee Wood is a regular world champion at least. Conlan was cruising for a large part. He is a very, very high-level technical boxer. He's ambidextrous. He can switch hit, extremely slick. But that fight did raise some, pretty serious question marks on Conlan. I was concerned by the fact he couldn't seem to move away from Wood, especially laterally, create some space for himself. He didn't seem to have the experience down the stretch either when things got rough in there, to simply clinch Wood and tie him up as well. And in relation to that inability to clinch Wood, he simply couldn't slow down the pace of the fight either. He got sucked into fighting Wood's type of fight, even though he was the one dominating. So, if you're in trouble in a fight, that's what elite level fighters do in the sport. If you're in trouble, if you're in a tight spot against an opponent, you kind of suck the air out the room. You think Mayweather versus Mosley, Mayweather got rocked and then he just slows the fight right down. Conlan couldn't do that, and that will be concerning as he fights for more world titles. But in terms of this weekend, he's chosen a fighter in Miguel Mariaga that, while a seasoned vet, 35 years of age, has a ton of power as well. Has seen better days. He is a tough fighter. He took a very hard-hitting Nicholas Walters the distance back in the day, took Oscar Valdez the distance. He went rounds with Lomachenko. So Mariaga has been around the block, but this is a good chance for Conlan to show his skills. I think Mariaga is a good choice of opponent. As one of the biggest factors in the Lee Wood fight for me was how quickly Wood was able to close the distance on Conlan. Wood is deceptively fast foot speed. Mariaga doesn't. So Conlan should have that space. And, for me, with the fight happening in Belfast, it's only a 10-rounder as well. So Mariaga won't have the chance to wear out Conlan like Lee Wood did. But the Conlan by decision prop, it is going off at a pretty sizable minus 275. But I just can't see any other outcome happening. So, while it is a bit, Conlan's only got a 50% KO percentage, and that was early in his career as well. So while it is a steep price, I can't see any other outcome in this fight. So, Conlan by decision, minus 275.
Listen, Kevin, Teddy and I can't agree or disagree with you. Flat out, I don't even know what you're talking about. But I do know, and I can tell you this is a fact. I bet every one of your boxing plays. I literally log into WagerTalk. Whatever it says, I bet. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who these people are, but it doesn't matter. There's a few things at WagerTalk that I do blindly. I bet Dave Cokin's college football blind. I bet Tokyo Brandon's Asian baseball blind. I bet Kyle Anthony's UFC blind, and I bet your boxing blind. So whatever the hell you just said, I will be doing. Guys, Kevin's on a 32-18 run in his boxing best bets. In all seriousness, you take my advice. You play Cokin's college football, Brandon's Asian baseball, Kyle's UFC, Kevin's boxing. You're going to make more return on your money than Warren Buffett ever has. Kevin's got a promo code up for you guys. Fight 200. $200 off a 1-year boxing fight. John Clark wrote Dolan his money. He does the same. Trust me, guys. Fight 200. And, Kev, correct me if I'm wrong. When you write, it's not in Irish.
Yeah, I do. I translate it into English. Don't worry for anyone looking to buy the package.
Dude, we love you, Kev. Listen, keep us posted on when these fights are. We want to have you on as often as possible. You are really so good at what you do. Your breakdowns are so on point. Congratulations on an outstanding season. I don't know what time it is in Ireland, but go drinking.
Well,
appreciate it,
anytime
Prez.
he comes on and gives our audience a plus 700 winner, he gets to come back as often as he wants. Well done, Kevin. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Dan, cue me up, baby. All right, it's time for the daily presidential address, and I am Lawrence Presman, the guy who's going to give it. It's been a while, probably a month, but we're going to be back doing these every day. I got 3 plays for you guys tonight, 2 baseball and 1 in the NFL. But before we get to that, I just want to make mention, because Teddy is a pretty humble guy. I mean, he's not really humble, but he doesn't promote himself. Teddy's calendar year of betting has been spectacular. And it's gone. I mean, look, all the clients notice it. It's all over the website. But we bring on guest after guest onto WagerTalk Today. We promote them. We talk about them. We give them the opportunity. Teddy's year to date has been incredible. I offhand, it's somewhere closing in on 100% return on investment. So make sure to pay attention to how Teddy is doing, because it really is a special calendar year so far. Anyway, my 3 bets for today. My computer shut down in the middle, so I have to go to the phone. I wrote it down. We're going with the Jays. Flat out, minus 120. If I'm going to get Manoah as a short favorite, I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it tonight. I like the fact that the Jays are coming off of a loss. I like the fact that this team has been on fire for the last 2 weeks. I think they turn it around in Minnesota tonight. As well, I like Detroit plus 155. I understand they're playing Tampa Bay. Their pitcher sucks, but I'm not that high on Tampa Bay. I think there's a money to be made on that game. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm betting that game personally. Teddy broke that down in detail yesterday on the show. So that's it for me. As Chef Corey writes, Teddy rocks. My brother, take us home.
That's going to wrap it for the Thursday edition of WagerTalk Today. Really appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same channel. 9 a.m. here on the left coast. Noon for you back east. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck as football tonight.
Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet on It, and the Opening Line Report. Plus, browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.